The Simpsons Index, an online spreadsheet that is also a podcast. This is the podcast, and here is your host, Elliot J. O'Neill. Welcome to episode 9 of The Simpsons Index, and that was such a good intro, wasn't it? Oh my god, what an introduction for me. Your host, Elliot J. O'Neill. And joining me today is...
Hi, I'm actor Troy McClure. You may remember me from such episodes as a Simpsons spin-off showcase and that time Selma got married again.
And...
I feel like I should say something witty. That's why I'm Daniel.
You don't pre-prep?
I thought this was the dress rehearsal.
I've had that in the
I'll do it on the night.
For months.
Oh.
We just watched Natural Born Kisses, which is the 25th and final episode of The Simpsons ninth season,
Get it
which
first.
actually makes it the last possible episode you could have picked, Beej, from the first decade.
Well, the first disc didn't play.
We were going to watch another episode, but we'll have to save that for another time when I get a new version of the DVD, because I...
Sponsored by JB Hi-Fi?
JB Hi-Fi, where you can get Simpsons on disc that's versatile and digital.
Ooh.
Sponsored by thepiratebay.co.
Guys, what'd you think of Natural Born Kisses?
It's adorable, really. It's
cute,
Yeah.
It wasn't exactly, high concept. But
Yep.
It was very sweet, and it started off weird. I don't know if that was just our DVD, if like the voice sync was throwing things off, but it started out like the timing
maybe
was
the
really
dialogue,
strange. The timing was
It did
off.
eventually sink in, so maybe they started with different dialogue and went somewhere else. I don't know. You see
No,
that
it
in-
is kind of common for Simpsons episodes for the just certain sections to be out of sync because their animation, they do their voice acting, then they do their animation, and sometimes things come back and they're like, oh, jokes aren't landing or something, and they do a re-record. So, like...
Yeah, I think that was it. I think, like, the timing of the voice was just... like, the jokes, there were these pauses between lines, like you'd have in an editing room, while all lines were separate, in case you wanted to re-record later.
I agree.
This is how natural, fluid conversation
Happens.
doesn't feel. Yes, so
But
that was
anyway, actually, to summarize for the audience at home, this is the episode in which Homer and Marge kickstart the fire in their romance by buying a motor from an outside dealer outside of town. They get caught in the rain and have to run into a barn, and then they almost get caught, and the thrill
really sexy,
ignites
actually.
something.
Not the
and
fridge
they-
motor, the barn sex.
Oh, really? The barn sex?
Oh, Cold Faithful. That was a very sexy
'Cause
fridge motor.
Fridge motors. I mean, I've been called a frigid motor before, but this
Wow.
might be different.
I
I'm
think
not
I've
sure.
seen that pornography, that pornographical video.
Yeah, that's the A story, and then there's this B story, which comprises 3 scenes of Bart and Lisa getting Grandpa's old metal detector.
Oh, that's a storyline.
Yeah, apparently,
Yeah.
and finding the alternate ending to Casablanca. Now, let's just get that part out of the way. That was just clearly there to eat up time, right? Like, they didn't have enough material with the Homer and Marge thing, so it's like in Act 2, they diverted to that. And which is one of the things that drags it down, this episode down for me, because I thought Act 3 was by far the strongest out of the 3 acts.
That's where they were going to.
And Act 2 was
the
a little...
naked sprint through town.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starting at the golf course. And
Yeah, getting all the hands, the grabby hands.
Grabby
That
hands,
really weird line by either Rod or Todd.
Why don't you stick your hand in there and see what it is?
Oh man.
That's the exact timing as well. That wasn't another editing joke.
No, wait. We have to bring attention to the hand at the start of the episode.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's got to notice this. It's amazing.
You can't unsee it.
There's a shot, it's like 30 seconds into the episode, where Homer grabs a leaflet out of his jacket pocket, and then his wrist just rotates 3,090 degrees in order to hold it up.
through itself to turn it around. It's
It's
well caught by you.
It's I know. I'm amazing.
I know.
I'm
We
amazing.
spent about 5 minutes of our watching time, just going back over that. And
It violates the laws of nature and man in a way that you can't unsee. I'm never going to not notice that now.
And in this house, we obey the rules of thermodynamics.
That we do. Yeah, so overall, like, I thought it was a little slow to start, and then the second act was a little mixed because of the inclusion of Bart and Lisa's B story. And then, yeah, do you guys agree
which
that
one's gonna take off as the A?
Yeah.
Like, the Casablanca thing doesn't go anywhere either. There's no, like, culmination to it.
but
Oh,
it's-
they
No,
get it. They
it's
get
three
the,
scenes, literally. They get the metal detector off Grandpa, they go out
get trash.
searching,
And
they get trash.
It culminates
and-
at the
then we
bigger, at the. It's got a payoff joke, is all it's got of "It's a Wonderful Life."
It's a wonderful.
Mm.
That was it. End of scene. End of story.
Yeah.
End of story.
Presumably, because they never go back to it ever, they actually just go out and bury them as told.
Yeah.
Because it never
Wow.
comes up again.
He never watched. Oh my god. Oh my god. Why would you not watch It's a Wonderful Life Killing Spree version?
That's the only reason I would watch that movie.
Oh.
So I think the Casablanca scene is actually pretty funny, even though I haven't seen Casablanca.
You haven't seen anything.
It's alright,
really.
man.
No, I haven't seen It's a Wonderful Life either.
Well, oh.
You can't rip on it and have not.
Yeah,
seen
you're
it.
not allowed to rip on it then.
haven't ripped on it.
It's an amazing movie.
Yeah?
It's an amazing movie.
Casablanca.
Oh, well, yeah, but no, I was talking about It's a Wonderful Life. It
Yeah?
is beautiful and heartfelt and
I will.
etc.
You've seen Casablanca in the sense that it does. It's the first one to do all the cliches that got copied from then
Yeah, yeah.
So
You've
you've
seen
seen it.
Casablanca like scene for scene in 30 different comedies, ripping it.
on. Yeah.
Right, and but in the sense that like it was the first one to do all the cliches. I've seen Die Hard because I've seen every
You haven't
other
seen
action
Die
movie.
Hard?
I've seen Die Hard.
Oh my-
but no, remember
sat
at the
him
time when
down.
I first saw Die Hard, I was like, this isn't a good movie.
Oh.
And then when
And
he beat
because
you
it
to
was
death-
so cliche. Yeah, after you beat me to death,
Oh.
you calmly explained to me that, all those things seem cliche is because that was the cliche.
Yeah, we're getting into film
mean-
theory rather than.
Oh yeah, this is getting long. Sorry, we got distracted.
No, it's okay. That's what.
Yeah, I feel like they had the Casablanca scene, and that was
Rode
they're
around
like,
it?
hey man, this was this is a cool scene. Hey, how funny is having Casablanca scene? Let's turn this into a B plot. And then they didn't have any plot for the scene.
Yeah.
Which you could work up a plot around a scene like that, which they tried.
I'd say it serves as a B plot. It's got its jokes.
It doesn't
and
go
that's-
anywhere.
It doesn't
needs
go
a-
anywhere.
It's there to just fill
B
time.
plots need to tie into the A plot at the end. That's a cohesive, overall plot. It's got to have an over arc.
That's your ideal, but I don't think
Your
there's
Pulp
anything
Fiction,
wrong.
have a B plot, have a C plot, but they're all
That's
part of the
Pulp
A plot.
Fiction. That's a different thing.
Simpsons did it.
I know Simpsons did it.
You can't hold that again. Yeah. We're using this to discuss how the Simpsons could be better because they have been better.
That's true. And in the A story, let's talk about that a bit. I mean, I really actually like the idea that they went with of.
For those of you playing at home, Shag is making as many annoying sounds into the microphone as possible to screw with Elliot during editing.
I nearly threw up.
Now he's going to throw up, and he'll record that as well.
Oh yeah,
That
I don't
was
know if
sound
you
great.
guys have noticed, but I do like make the burps as loud as possible in the mixing as well.
Of course you do.
That seems in spirit of Simpsons.
Yeah.
Anyway, you were saying.
The A plot of this episode with Homer and Marge losing the spark in their relationship. They've delved in this before with the Grandpa's Tonic episode and them finding the new way of spicing up their love life by finding the giddy thrill of getting caught.
Yep.
I thought that was a solid thing, and
Yeah, what I like it as a plot is we've done the does Marge really love Homer bit like 100 times, and every time you see
yeah.
it come up, it is
Yeah.
so boring, and you immediately tune out. Whereas this
Because
was
the
more
answer's
about,
obvious.
Yeah, we
you
know they're going to go back to status quo, but this was first of all very real and very human point of this relationship's been going on for so long, how they keeping it alive.
They still love each other. They've lost interest. This is a really human point to connect
Yeah,
on.
and to my better of my knowledge, I think they've done it twice. Once with the Grandpa Tonic, and this time.
Yeah,
I don't think they've covered it a lot, which
Yeah.
is fair. I think that's unlike something that's been done to death, this is something the Simpsons haven't done to death.
Their sexuality is
Sensuality.
it's almost taboo in The Simpsons. It's very limited dealing with sexuality.
well, yeah, we watched Weekend at Burnsy's last episode, and This was another one that was part of the Simpsons adult,
Yeah, the black
adult
label.
only, yeah, the Black Label Simpsons that were shown on at 9:30 on Channel 10. Yeah.
for no real reason other than it revolves around the idea of people married people having a sex
Hey,
life.
it shows.
Yeah.
This shows a naked woman. A naked
This shows a woman whose naughty bits are covered by a duck and a flower in a that's a lawn ornament.
Well done.
Oh, I love that joke with the
Yeah.
two
Can we
guys. on the
switch? I don't trust these guys. Yeah, although I did want to bring it up, there is. I feel like Elliot, check me out here. Is this a continuity error? This is their 11th anniversary, but Bart is 10, and Marge was pregnant with Bart before they got married, so it couldn't possibly be 11.
I don't. Look,
oh.
I think you might be right, but I don't think Simpsons age. I think all episodes are in the space of one day or like a couple of days.
Also true. We have the time loop theory.
Marge was pregnant with Bart when they got married, and she was showing. So let's say she's 5 months pregnant.
That's a fair assumption.
If it's their 11th month, then
11th year.
11th anniversary, then that's 4 months before Bart's birthday. So as long as she was pregnant with Bart, it's still going to be more than
Just
Bart's
barely.
Pregnancy, yeah,
Fair
9
point.
months of pregnancy. Push it past. Sorry, I completely misinterpreted what you're saying.
I completely misinterpreted what I was saying.
You makes a good point. 11 years continuity within the
Yep.
timeline.
No, that
Not
made
about
it.
continuity within the series. Because continuity within the series doesn't make sense. Everyone knows it. 27 years, they're still 10. All this sort of stuff.
Because there was actually a positive point of continuity, which is the Flanderses were putting at the miniature golf course. Like they had that in what, like season 3?
Yeah, the
Ah,
Flanders
there
are
we
big
go.
on the putters.
Yeah.
Yep, and I love
Let's watch
that.
that episode. How good is that episode? Sorry, let's keep
I
talking
know.
about this one.
But yeah, Flanders' line to Maud. Remember, the secret is don't hit the blades.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
And I really like that. The very subtle suggestion that every marriage has its cracks. And
Put
that's,
the fucking
Yeah.
thing down.
I don't even think that was intentional. I think he was just fucking around with a mic stand.
No, hang on, Maud. It's the first time I've actually heard Maud even slightly cranky
Yeah.
at Ned, and she was like really gritting her teeth.
Yeah.
that was.
Yeah, even when she
fleshing out their-
enthusiastically says "unflavored for me,"
Oh, I know.
that's enthusiasm. That's real. But this was the only time I think we ever
Yeah,
see.
they really flesh out their relationship in that one sentence more than the rest of the series. Oh, the bit where she dies and stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, Homer and Marge, I like how their relationship as well is fleshed out in this, in that, you know, they're just understandably bored or accustomed to each other.
Accustomed, yeah. It's been 11 years. That's a long time.
Fair, yeah. That is a long time.
And there are those relatable moments with them going, oh, should we get this going?
Yeah, it seems like the thing to do.
Yeah.
You know,
what was
we can have intercourse right now.
Let's not. And Homer's line where Marge goes, oh, I thought you used to like it when we used to do this. And he's like, no, I don't like it.
Yeah,
It's
really
better than
cute.
it's, I used to do this, yeah, but I don't like it. It's like he never liked it. It's only just mentioned
Yeah,
after
only.
11 years.
All right.
So, continue.
Finished on a really high note for quotes.
They're going to feel so stupid when they realize the left is behind.
And it was cute. I think that was one of the better gags of the whole show.
It is, yeah. It's a good episode, I will say. It's not your greatest in terms of plot or jokes, but I don't know, it feels like a good development for the show.
I guess they did do a lot of exploration in the Grandpa's Tonic episode with Marge and Homer not being sexually compatible for a time or whatever, but yeah, this one they really get into it and
Was
show
that
the
the
filthy animals.
reverse vampires?
Yeah.
Oh,
Through the looking glass here, people.
Yeah,
So
so much
good.
more sex referenced in The Simpsons than you notice when you're a little kid.
Alright.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, take that episode for example. Put it against this one. That one's better because the B line, like you were saying, Shag, is stronger. Ties into the main
And
story.
is hilarious.
Yeah.
No, that's really tight.
But
Absolutely.
the Rand Corporation, under the supervision of the reverse vampires, has a fiendish plot. I'll stop because we'll do that all night.
Yeah, we're doing the wrong show.
Yep. All right. Well, that sounds good for a general chat. Let's do a questionnaire. Do you remember watching this back in the day? Got any memories of it?
I'm pretty sure I got some cheeky little schoolboy giggles out of it. They vaguely mention wieners.
Yeah.
I remember the nudie run scene crystal in my memory. Wow, what a pubescent child I must have been. Nope. Yep. I can see the whole thing with my eyes closed. Go on. You can too. I can see it in your eyes, Elliot.
I'm doing it right now.
Yep. Picturing Homer being slid up right
Slowly.
against the crystal.
The squeak
open
of his
edge.
hands against the
squeak.
glass.
Yeah.
Look at God's floor, God's glorious floor.
Yeah, besides the adults only being paired with those few episodes, I don't really remember much more about this back in the day. Episode that been revisited much.
When it's come on.
I'd put my play count at about 15. I don't
Your
know.
place count is constantly 15.
Yeah, revisited much, guys?
Terrible. Yeah, look, I've seen it a bunch of times. I think in my memory, those lumberjacks are burned in my retina.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't trust these guys.
Yeah, so I must have seen it at least once and just been traumatized by life as a child through some horrific lumberjack incident.
Yeah, fear that windmill-powered lumberjacks would just come hunt you and
My
cut you up in the night.
Yeah,
that was
I know
my
what I'm
fear.
doing that tonight.
I'd say sorry, but it's for your own good.
Do you see yourself watching this episode again?
Yeah, again, I don't think I'd specifically seek it out, but if it's on, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is this a recommended episode?
It's one of those if you haven't seen it kind of things. It's not so great that I would demand people come home and watch it with me right now. Let's go to JB
But
Hi-Fi,
it's
where
something that
prices
you
are
know-
low.
Oh, God. You don't even
And
work
ranges
for
are-
them.
I'm trying to get sponsorship.
Oh, sponsorship. Yeah.
You've done it again, Beach. Just like JB Hi-Fi.
And they're low prices.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Simpsons Index, available now for purchase if you want.
I feel like your foreign friend has moved in and they're like, I don't get all these Simpson references that everyone's making. This is one of the ones you'd say, watch this, because people tend to reference it. It just kind
Every
of
now
pops
and
up,
then.
you know?
Yeah. It's not chock full of the
It
quotable
would
moments,
be
but it
very
has a
low
lot
on
of
my
them.
quotable moments. It's got
Yeah.
a couple, and but if a friend was like, "Man, I know what to do. My marriage is struggling." Oh, this one. Have you tried being naked in a windmill?
I've got two suggestions. Yeah, outside sex and Grandpa's tonic.
And if that doesn't do it, get a divorce.
Oh, man, the divorce.
Da, da, da,
bit.
da, 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 da.
Oh, I can feel their pain.
Yeah.
Any jokes that might have flown over your head on the viewings when you were a kid?
I think I did get this one as a kid, but I don't. I feel like if I was much younger, I wouldn't have. So I'm not sure. It was when Grandpa's telling the story of his minesweeper, where he, had to deflect tanks around German mines, and he accidentally blows one up, and he goes, "And that's how I earned the Iron Cross." And when I was maybe a bit younger, I might not have gotten that that's a German Medal of Honor. Yeah, who didn't
That's
do
the sound of
history
people
in
who
this
didn't get it.
room?
That's the sound of people who didn't get the joke.
Yeah.
It sounded like a long drawn out but it was actually a click going off in our heads.
Damn.
Yeah, so
That's pretty funny.
It is.
That is
Well,
pretty funny.
he got awarded a medal from the Germans for
Oh,
being so
shit.
bad at minesweeping.
Shit. Wow. Points to the Simpsons. This is a funnier episode than I thought it was.
Because it was one of those ones where I'm pretty sure I did because I did modern history and
Yeah,
and
I did ancient. I mean,
that's ancient. Yeah.
it's so useful in modern day life.
Yep. In Simpsons episodes where they talk about Alexander the Great. They
Which
do
one was
that,
that?
right? They don't.
Oh, okay.
He conquered the world. Cut a
I didn't know
knot.
whether or not to try and appear smart and go,
That's Alexander.
Well, you know what? Take away from this the Simpsons quote, the old better to ever have everyone think you a fool than open your mouth and remove all doubt. And then the Homer reaction of, what does that mean? Better say something or you'll feel like an idiot. Takes one to know one. Swish. Pure example.
Gold.
Let's talk about the wackiness. I guess there being a Casablanca alternate ending. And
That was pretty wacky. Yeah, I mean,
the hot air
realistically, that
balloon
was pretty
bit,
wacky.
but everything else not
Everything
too
else is
wacky.
pretty much on point. This is like we said, a very human episode of a married couple trying to reconnect.
Yeah, I mean, because as
there was
anyone,
the cow spying on their
Yeah.
barn sex.
Well, cows are filthy perverts.
It's true.
yeah. See, they're not like humans
Yeah,
or
that's
dolphins, where
No, dolphins are way freaky.
Yeah. Oh, it's the BDSM scene in the dolphin world.
I was just gonna let that hang for as long as possible.
Oh, I was
If
hoping.
you can edit in
I was hoping-
crickets.
no, I can make that sound.
That's right. He did to me like a couple of.
All right, now cut that back like 30 seconds.
He's the only one who can do it.
So yeah, aside from Homer hanging from the hot air balloon, and there we go, another sideshow Mel awesome line. Look, that blimp up there, it's hanging from a hot air balloon.
Oh,
Like,
man.
ooh, backhand Mel.
Backhand Mel.
Mel's such a bitch.
That's Mel after dark. Or in this
No.
case, the day.
That's a good wiggle.
Thank you. So yeah, heart. This had a lot of heart, and I guess anyone who's been in a long-term relationship can relate to this and the freaky places you end up going.
To fuck.
Oh yeah,
So,
such freaky places.
A U-boat. Terrible idea.
What?
a German U-boat?
Oh, sorry. Was I talking out loud?
At a museum or in the water?
How old are you?
Let's not get into that.
Oh my god.
Cyborg.
So yeah, it's just crammed full of heart.
Yeah, but I
I
like
know
that.
something else that's
I like that it's not your typical heart. It's not your typical sentimentality. It's not overly sappy, and it's not sappy in the usual way. It's real, I suppose. It's not everything's wrapped up nicely and this problem goes away forever now. This is how they got to a conclusion.
Yeah.
A lot of that didn't make sense.
Is their love life sorted out now? Are they happy sex fiends?
Oh,
Temporarily.
they got embarrassed by the situation and they were blasted all over the front page of the paper, and
They
Barton
were blasted all
Yeah,
over the front
and that'll
page.
fuel for
And
at
they-
least 3 weeks.
and they explained to Bart and Lisa what the hell was going on. And
Why they have their hands in each other's pockets.
I really like the part of Lenny and Carl. Like, damn, she's a vixen. I bet those legs go all the way up to Yaya.
And then Marge pulls off.
Ma'am.
How does the day find you?
Oh, knock it off, you perverts.
Yeah.
My Marge isn't as
They're
good as
just
my
like,
Wiggum.
damn, I am picturing that girl naked as
Oh.
fuck. And she's all like, oh, those guys are thinking about banging my jangs.
All right, in the home stretch now, did this feel like a Simpsons episode?
Yes, 100%. Like, it was that borderline of heart and wacky, It wasn't a wacky episode, it wasn't a hard episode, and it was walking right down the middle, and it felt like The Simpsons.
Yeah, I mean it's treading new ground for them, or new, less trod ground.
the risque ground.
Exactly,
But-
and it still felt very Simpsons throughout. Yeah,
But it's good that even at this point, that there was still Marge and Homer's relationship was still a deep well of which to draw water
Yeah.
from.
And even though Homer wasn't particularly retarded, which he often is, his character came through very well fleshed. There were the idiot moments. Leaving the door open really stood out to me for some dumb
putting
reason.
teacups over his man boo.
Oh man, that was great. No, like I think the really big one was him trying to get the car out of the mud, just
by
like
flooring
it.
flooring it.
Until they're on about a 45-degree.
Yeah, and the next scene, the car's just like upright and they're walking off.
It's gonna take a whole lot of flooring.
Well, yeah, it felt like a Simpsons episode, and that segues a bit more into any other quotable moments because of the Family Guy-esque cutaway, which we will point out, this
yeah.
was 98, this is still pre-Family Guy.
I feel like there was another one at the start. There were two like imagination cutaways in the same episode.
Well, first of all, the pirate bit, this is...
And second of all would be Grandpa and the tank. That was
Yeah.
more of an
Yeah.
explanation.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
yeah. So what you're referring to is when Bart's using the Minesweeper to look for treasure, and he's like cuts away to pirates who are like, well, what if we instead this time use the treasure to buy things, things we liked.
Just, perfect.
I suppose the difference is it's an imagination cutaway rather than remember when this happened cutaway. But yeah, it's still a cutaway gag, which they do not do often in The Simpsons. The only really other one I can remember is Bleeding Gum Murphy's, where he's like, then it was my $10,000 a day addiction. Cuts away to, I'd like another Fabergé egg, please.
Oh man.
I'll tell you when I've had enough.
This isn't this episode, but I just want to ask quickly, is that what Lisa thinks, or what Bleeding Gums Murphy
I like-
actually
oh,
went
no,
through,
I
or
like
what
to
Bleeding
think
Gums
that Bleeding
Murphy
Gum
is
Murphy-
actually...
Yeah, I'm
actually
sure
went
that's
through.
canon.
Yeah.
That's way too funny to not be what.
Because,
that he was
yeah,
just
I
buying
thought it-
Fabergé eggs.
I thought it was, one of three things. It's what Lisa thought he was talking about, it's what he was actually talking about, or it was what he was explaining to Lisa, a la How I Met Your Mother and Sandwiches
so he
is
was
Pot.
using it as a metaphor for his
Yeah.
heroin
I
addiction.
like to think Lisa is not that stupid. She knows things.
Any other quotable moments?
Prices like a mother's love, or prices in the good way.
Right, pretty good.
And wouldn't it be funny if they had little parties while we were away? Quaint little parties.
Yeah, and
We little parties.
I wrote down quaint. Was it quaint? Oh, whatever. Yeah. And also, here comes two. Dude.
yeah.
Write down. I feel weird reading from notes, but feels like inorganic.
It's all right, man. I mean, it's for the good of the show.
Yep. Anyway, questions.
Take your time, Elliot. Build up to it.
He's got
When
either
you're
a
ready,
sneeze
you
or he's
can do
got a
it.
point.
You ready?
I think.
Let's rank this thing.
Are you
Are we
going
doing
to
this?
do that every episode now?
Yeah.
No.
Oh man.
Okay, because I was going to say I'm a little underwhelmed.
I was hoping that was going to be a bit.
You're like
That's a
75%
thing.
into it. You need to be 100.
That's true. Quick, give me 100%. No, give me 110%.
That is impossible.
Right.
That's more than the maximum amount that any one person
That's how
can
the
give.
Simpsons roll.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble. How's that?
I mean, you said
Look,
rumble. instead
looking
of
at your
ranking.
face, I'd say like 90%.
You know,
Okay,
you're
now
clearly
give
worried
it-
about your neighbors, and that's fine. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's fair.
That did come through my head around the word rumble.
I know.
What about his brother that isn't legally allowed to say the same thing as
It's
him?
time
Oh, that poor guy. I feel so
for the
sorry for him.
UFC light heavyweight champion of the world.
He's trying his hardest.
Wow.
He is.
Just dance
Poor
around
old Bruce
everyone.
Buffer.
Anyway,
You picked it, Beej. You rank it first.
Go for it, man. Show us what you got.
What do you
Tell
call
me,
it?
I
show me
was
what you
feeling Blilver, but I know we don't split.
Mm.
It's tough because I like it, but it's not very story heavy and it's not very joke heavy, and yet I still like they found an interesting middle ground of a place to take it where we haven't been 1,000 times before, and that's impressive. I feel like I'm going to bronze it actually, which is a little bit
Okay.
surprising for me. I kind of thought I'd silver. Watching it, I thought silver. Now that we talked about it, I do feel bronze. It's still good, but I wouldn't. Yeah, that's just where I am.
Fair
I'm
enough.
bronze.
How about you, Danny?
I'm going to sound like I'm influenced by Beach, but I'm not. But I am giving it bronze as well. I was just thinking, I enjoyed this, but I can't think of any particular moment that made me enjoy it. I can think of a lot of like second tier moments that I smiled at but didn't think were great, like the whole fridge burning out thing, or geez, I mean the car gag was funny. The there was a bunch. The barnyard, the spikes through the thing. It was funny, but it wasn't like big time funny, and that's the problem. It wasn't really funny. Wasn't really heartfelt. Oh damn! I'm saying the same thing as Beat. Oh no.
Hi.
No, it's okay to have similar opinions, and I'm actually surprised you guys went so low because I'm going to give it a silver.
I say it's tough. It's genuinely a tough one.
But
I
I
was
see
thinking
where you're
about-
coming from.
The other things we've silvered, silvers are a pretty great ranking. Usually, we have our Super Zirconium Saiyan edition, and those ones are amazing. And in any other series, they'd still be amazing. There's the gold ones that, damn, those were great to watch. They weren't
if you
like.
haven't seen them, then yes, you
Yeah,
stop someone
like
to make sure. they've seen them.
Zirconia is priceless cinema, and they should be hung in a wall of fame in a museum.
They should be in the
somewhere.
Louvre, damn it.
Yeah, for real. Gold is just like, damn, that is some fine comedy.
Yeah, see, as we're doing more of these, the rankings sort of start to make more sense and, like, using them as reference points, whereas Homer to the Bat, that is just total perfection. You can't
yeah.
mess
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
Homer to the Max Power episode, it's fucking funny throughout, but it's not
but you can
grounded in
recognize
anything.
it's not top shelf. It's not quite there.
Yeah, and for those comparisons, I think that's why this fits in nicely for a silver for me. I like the exploration of the relationship, and I like a lot of the jokes. And Bart and Lisa's story is it's kind of dumb, and it's clearly only there to fill in time because, as we've said, it doesn't tie into the story at all, and it's over within the second act. It actually concludes way before Marge and Homer's story concludes, which I also find a bit storytelling
you like conclusion
weird.
than conclusion. Yeah.
And why am I getting pointed at?
Oh, look, because you're about to say all these reasons are why it's not quite a gold, but I'm giving it a silver. And I was thinking, damn, those reasons are a great explanation for why I don't think it's worth a silver and I'm giving it a bronze. You made a great case, man. Like, it was fun, but it didn't feel like a great episode. The gags were funny, the sentiment was there, but maybe it was the pacing, maybe it was something about just, I don't know, the way they moved from one joke to another didn't flow as funny. It definitely was. I'm solidly saying bronze. Sorry, I can see you're about to go back to silver, and that's deserved. I'm not against your opinion.
Yeah, like I said, it's a tough one.
No, well, all over that evens out into be a shiny bronze medal in the overall ranking.
Wait, you are splitting ranks now?
Oh, no, that's the overall
Only
ranking.
in the overall,
Two
yeah,
bronze
yeah.
to a silver.
Only in the overall, right.
Yeah. And if I gave it a participant, it would be a dull bronze.
Yeah. I see, whatever.
Yeah, alright. Well, we're going to move on to the next episode as chosen by Danny. Dan, the man.
Wait, have we changed our order again? We have. That's cool. Let's do it. Let's do it.
This
Let's do
isn't
it.
canon
I'm
to
ready.
the show.
What are we,
So ready.
What are we
Oh,
doing?
you're cutting me, aren't you? You're cutting me right now. Everything I say is
I'm
not
mentally
getting
cutting
free
you.
to air. Oh, you boss.
let's just make
I
one.
can't believe you do this to me, man. I might as well not even exist. Look at me. Look at me. You're erasing me from history. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, the person that you're hearing right now has been removed from history. In 1,000 years, a guy 15 minutes before this and 15 minutes after this will exist. But me, right now, I'm gone. I am gone.
Deleted for wow.
I know, it's really sad. I'm actually really sad right now.
And we're back. And what episode did you pick, Shag?
Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, shit.
Yep, can't mess with your editor.
I
man.
know, so funny. I picked, it was season 16, episode 15. It was one I wasn't hugely familiar with, but it sounded mediocre, and it had Amy Poehler, and it had John DiMaggio as guest stars, so damn, I am really excited to pick it up. It is called something Future Drama, or...
Yeah, future drama.
Just future drama.
Well, that'll do too. I think
In
my
the distant
my version was
land of
funnier.
2013.
We will be back after this short musical interlude.
Word from our sponsors.
JB Hi-Fi. Done it again.
Why not?
Yeah, they're currently maybe Hi-Fi, but they could be
Hi-Fi. Oh,
maybe
no,
God.
it's
Okay.
And we're back. Guys,
Hi, Mom.
we just watched Future Drama. What did you think?
It's really bad, man. I really did not like that episode.
I concur.
There were a few good jokes,
Yeah.
I'll admit. But overall...
Overall, just not a lot to hold on to.
Oh.
So that was the 15th episode of the 16th season.
Yep. Well, Elliot, why don't you run us through a synopsis?
Okay, so Bart and Lisa are fighting, and they end up tumbling into Frink's basement, where we discover that Frink's got a looking into the future machine.
The
And
world of tomorrow.
The World of Tomorrow. Yeah, it is a Futurama episode, ironically.
And so we get a glimpse into Bart and Lisa as they're, I don't know, about 18 and 16, and Lisa's been accelerated, and she's graduating at the same time as Bart.
They're
And
both prom at the same time. That's right. They're probably both like 17 and 15. I don't know. What age is prom?
well, when you
cares?
graduate high school, it's around
Yeah.
18, like in America as well as Australia, I think.
Yeah, well, they said it's been 8 years, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
This came out in the distant past of 2005, and it's set in the distant future of 2013.
Where they listen to a lot of 80s
A
music.
lot
at
of
their
80s
prom.
music for summer. Like, that's the weird thing, that you could have done a bunch of, like, current songs and been like, remember this one? That's an easy
Yeah.
joke. It's just very odd that they didn't. It's like, why is there so much 80s reference?
Because at this point he's 10 in 2005. I mean, originally he was 10 in the 80s, and that makes sense. I see what you're doing there, and it's cute, but it doesn't really matter.
Elliot's just shirtless.
Originally, it's cute, but it doesn't
spinning the
really
nipple-
matter.
I'm spinning the nipple tassels the opposite way to each other, though. Isn't that impressive?
I mean,
to you?
it is, and it's nice to know you've been working at something.
Yeah, look, I'm impressed by the time you've put in, but not by the results you've yielded.
Good night!
Jiggling boobies aside. So yeah, and Bart stops a robbery from Mr. Burns happening, and Mr. Burns gives the scholarship that was originally meant to be to Lisa to him, and then Lisa's all pissed off at him, and then in a
Things
turn,
This is
I-
a convoluted,
I know.
wanky episode. Is that all A stories? Is it an all A story episode?
No, B story of Homer and Marge.
Yeah. Is there? I mean, they mentioned they separate. There's a shot of them with Krusty, and then blang, it's over. Is that wow? What goes for a B story these days
I know.
is slim.
My day, B stories, words.
Yeah, well, I really didn't like the B story because there's been so many reasons for Homer to leave Marge. Marge to leave Homer. Whoops.
And we never did.
And by spending all the money on an underwater property, Homer spent all their money buying worse shit.
Yeah.
Like 20 times.
Or pumpkins, wasn't one?
Yeah. Gotta sell your pumpkin futures before Halloween. Remember good episodes.
Yeah, it's like okay. It's like the last one we said. A good thing about the last episode was that it touched on a different aspect of their marriage difficulties. Whereas the number of times we've done a "Does Marge really love Homer?" bit so many times.
Yeah.
So to do that so
Again and
over
again.
and over and over, and then have one with like, oh, they're separated. Actually, no, they're not.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. They're split up because he bought the underwater property, apparently, and they got back together because he got beaten up by Krusty.
No, because he has a sweet underwater property where jellyfish and
Word.
three-eyed cow whales get to watch them
Fool
feel
around.
intimate with each other.
You know, gonna get that bitch an underwater property. Bitches love underwater properties.
That underwater real estate, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look, and so that's not a great enough reason to break them up, you know, and not enough good material was mined from them being
No.
apart.
It just existed.
Yeah, and
Is it just me, or did like everyone who was an adult in regular Simpsons still just basically the same thing? I reckon half of them should have been dead, man. Like fucking Burns was alive, and
yeah,
dude,
Yeah.
he would have been like 500 by then.
Way funnier when we got the flash forward where it's like, oh, Mr. Burns will thaw you out as soon as we find the cure for
Yes.
17 stab wounds in
Oh,
the back.
that was top shelf. That was great.
Whereas
quick throwaway
this one
one.
we get Snake going, "Oh, I'll just order what you're having." Oh no,
Oh,
not
my
that.
gun food.
Dude,
It's
that was
like,
a great Snake impression. That was really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got to see how much of an episode you could voice by yourself.
Yeah. Quick, say you're taking this thing to Mexico.
I'm taking this thing to Mexico.
Nice.
Yeah.
Landed.
Yeah.
When compared to the, I'd say, only good flash forward episode of Lisa's wedding, yeah, this one really does fall short in those aspects of.
Hey man, Itchy and Scratchy Land is the only canon actual future episode. That's worth remembering.
You mean Itchy and Scratchy movie where at the end Bart is Chief
Where
Justice
Bart
of
is
the Supreme
actually
Court.
Chief Justice of the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
At 83, when apparently, according to this episode, he finds the woman of his dreams. That makes sense.
When
Yeah,
he's
it adds up.
Bitches love a Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. I've looked into this.
Sorry, women. We're not really referring to you all as bitches.
No,
We're just
it's a
subverting the
Good apology, man. Bitches love
Dude,
apologies.
wow.
Swish.
So there were like a couple of weird, good quotes. I did like, oh, marriage is a 3-year commitment, and
Yeah.
I like that
Yeah.
she's called Gender. I think that is
It's
like,
weird. It's weird.
It's weird. But
It's-
future name, I guess.
yeah,
Whatever.
well,
If she was like vaguely androgynous, then
Yeah.
gender could have been like a play on words
Ah.
sort of thing.
Which is what I thought they were going for a while, but no.
yeah.
No,
There also
it's
other good
gender
line.
like Brenda and Jenga.
Other line I liked, which is anything's possible now that science has invented magic.
Yeah, that was
That was
neat.
fun.
Neat sweep under the rug there.
Yeah.
I wish they brought that back though. And you know, is it a good line? You know, oh, Maggie's enjoying Alaska. They show up the postcard, and it's just a beach with a polar bear, and it's like, haha, take that, climate change deniers. Is that why I find it funny?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
why you find it funny.
Pretty much. There's something weirdly humorous about Chief Wiggum's Robocop with the turkey cooking inside, but then they just let the moment hang too long with
Yeah,
him going,
it's
it's
one of those
okay, you
ones,
know, we
yeah.
got, we're not fussy
I
here,
don't know,
you can
the-
just use
the-
your hands.
the
It was
way-
a setup and a weak punchline.
The
you
way
know?
worse one was Superintendent Chalmers has been turned into a vegetable.
Oh, that
and not
was
only do
sad.
they give a really
Oh my
sad joke,
God.
but then they cut to it and hold on him just in a
Yeah.
machine
Yeah.
for ages. Like like 5 full seconds of just, wow, I am so sad right now.
Mm-hmm.
So sad.
And even, like, Nelson, the whole knocking up Sherry and Terry thing was kind of sad.
Yeah, it was pretty grim.
And
then he runs out on both of them when they have the twins.
well, and it had been
no sort of
previously
upside to
established
that
in the
little
episode that
storyline.
it... Sorry?
Sorry.
Sorry?
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 Sorry.
Sorry.
Our bitches are going to love this episode. So many sorries.
Canadian bitches.
Hey.
Sorry.
So they previously established in this episode that it takes 3 hours to decompress in the underwater house before you can go to the surface, and Nelson is seen escaping on a turtle, which that motherfucker's dying, right?
Nelson does not play by your rules.
But he doesn't, take an escape shuttle. He just swims from the bottom of the ocean to the top of the ocean. I
Can
don't
the
think he
bends kill
actually
you?
escapes. I
Yes,
think he
they
dies.
can.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where he dies,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Nelson no more.
so that's 4 children growing up without a daddy.
Sad. Just
That-
a sad.
This is
sad
a
episode.
grim episode.
I
This
know.
whole
Very.
thing is really bringing me down.
And I also don't like gender where... okay, so they're at the graduation ceremony. Bart's flipping through the Yale book, and Lisa announces to the crowd that she's going to hot dog on a stick school now.
Yeah,
And
that's
Hot
weird.
dog in
gender...
a stick management school.
And Gender links to Bart and is like, hey, that's weird. You're going to Yale and now Lisa's not. What's up? And you think Gender's going to be the
The
moral
catalyst
reason.
for getting him to switch back. Yeah.
But yeah, it's Bart who realizes in the underwater chamber and is like, oh my god, Lisa's about to throw a future away and end up with Milhouse. I gotta go save her. And then Gender's like, no, if you go and stop that, I'm never gonna be with you again. She looks like a
really
cunt.
She was really horny the whole episode.
Yeah.
She was like, oh my god, why am I not getting fucked right now?
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
That's definitely where she goes every single time
that's
they're
the
alone.
Thing. She didn't have a character. She was just like, damn, I'm a walking vagina on legs.
You have Amy Poehler voicing that. Use it.
Seriously, that was Amy Poehler.
Well, I
What
mean,
a
it has to be.
waste.
And she comes in to the episode on a skateboard and she headbutts Bart as their affection, and
Yeah.
that's kind of like fun for Bart to have a female counterpart.
yeah.
And then it doesn't.
And then everything
Use it.
There was a setup. She had this opening to have a personality, but instead, nope, just a gaping vagina on a skateboard.
Who apparently didn't have those problems with Todd Flanders, which I don't get
Oh,
because
because he's a stud muffin.
He's like repressed for
Dude,
years, and he's finally
just a
getting
raging
out.
so he's
erection
that's
on
like-
He's
legs.
just a
He's
fuck
one
machine.
big throbbing fuck machine.
You know how
Pump full of cum.
Okay, you know the beginning of Reservoir Dogs where they're talking about like a virgin. It's about dick. That's Rod Flanders.
Yeah, man. Jenda's just this girl singing a song about how she feels like it's her first time being
Because
fucked.
this cat is so huge. It's like, whoa, mama. Coming soon, the Tarantino Index. We'll all just talk about Simpsons.
Ah, I hope my mother's not listening to this.
I hope mine is.
I'm Mrs. Calloway.
All right, yeah, that about does it for the general chat.
He's cutting it off safe.
We've said dick enough times. We've said sorry enough times. Sorry for all the dick ladies.
Maybe that's how the little.
She said, no. No.
Do you remember watching this at all before? Is this the
I
first
remember
time
watching
you-
it on this couch right now.
Yeah.
That's the Elliot.
You don't remember it in the past?
Wait, is it a time travel reference?
I've definitely never
No,
seen
no,
it
no, no,
before.
like-
I've never seen it before, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
first time.
can't remember it in the past.
This one skipped me over, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I've seen it before, 3 times maybe. I don't like it.
So stop watching it.
But this was the last time, I swear.
Yeah, they always say.
Yeah, right.
But no, I
Who is John DiMaggio? I didn't even notice.
Bender.
He was, yeah.
Oh,
he
Bender was in
playing
it for like
Bender.
30 seconds,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
got a credit like as guest starring.
Because he's John DiMaggio.
Yeah, it wasn't a good.
Yeah, but it
I don't
wasn't even
remember
30
exactly.
seconds. It was like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
I know, but I don't remember exactly what happens. But it wasn't a good
They
cameo
drive
bit.
through a tunnel, and then Bender's
Bender
in the
was
car.
there by the
And
end
it's
of the
like-
And then they throw him out of the car.
Yeah.
That was shit.
Terrible.
I bet John DM got paid way more for this episode than he
I'm
deserved.
betting he literally phoned it in.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, Harry Shearer does.
I don't know if he actually said any. Was there a single Bender line? in
He
this?
said something like, "Hey guys, we're best friends now. Oh, I'm being thrown away and I'm rolling down a hill. Bender out." I mean, that probably wasn't it.
Wow,
But
that
was pretty
really
close.
that sounded like the sort of thing you'd say over a phone
Yeah.
for a paycheck.
Hey man, he's a busy man. He voices a lot of stuff. So
Yeah.
he's not
Yeah.
coming in for just like one line of Simpsons.
And it actually reminds me of the Futurama episode where they're doing a dungeon crawl and they run into Finn and Jake. And then Finn goes, "What time is it?" And Bender goes, "Time for you to shut up." It's just like,
It's there.
I'm glad they were.
Why
you know,
bring the
did
characters in if it's just to shoot them down, throw them out straight away?
Mm-hmm.
Wasting my time.
These shows aren't even feuding. They're on the same side.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's like the whole gag is saying, "Hey, look at this thing that exists."
That we
Here-
also did.
Yeah, here it is. Boom, we're off. What a waste of my time.
Yeah, what a waste of John DiMaggio.
I already knew they existed.
Yeah, I'm well aware.
Do you see this yourself watching this episode again?
Oh, if we're gonna be like even scathinger with our critique, as if this one wasn't already the R18 episode.
Talk about the wackiness. Okay, well, any future episode is inherently
wacky, but it's dumb wacky. Like
Yeah.
there are a lot of fun wackies in the future Lisa wedding one. Like there's, I'm so glad we got rid of those wacky plane designs. They've got like 16 wings.
Yeah.
It's a fun little quick
This episode
joke.
wasn't as futury as
Like,
some
it
of
was
them
only
were.
8 years in the future, but even then they've got hover cars. They've got
Yeah, why'd you buy
There's
the
the
first
giant
hover
garbage
car?
spaceship that comes down and goes up and comes down and goes up.
Yep, the ET ship.
Yeah, that just done for the ET.
I was the
reference.
ET ship, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, I missed that one.
So yeah, it's just
You didn't miss much.
yeah, it's just
did
there's a
not
lot.
miss much.
Huh?
Sorry.
No, I was talking
It
over you
wasn't
guys.
funny. There was the underwater. There's the underwater apartment. There are currently underwater apartments in like Saudi Arabia or something. So I don't know
shit.
if it's a future reference or not.
Well, it is now. Back in 2005.
Yeah, back
Oh shit, we're already
The
past
ancient days of-
2013.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, don't
I'm
get
so
existential
old.
again.
I'm so old.
And we don't have hover cars.
Okay, so anyone playing the Simpsons Index podcast drinking game will know that you
Drink every time we say dick.
No, that, and anytime Shag gets existential.
Oh god.
Oh wow, they're gonna be drunk a lot.
So did you like the heart of this episode? Did it have heart?
No thumps. Oh, I know it did, but it was so boring and stupid. I didn't care.
Yeah, much like the wackiness, it was stupid heart.
Yeah. It was pretty low grade,
Like, again,
wasn't it?
you had a
So I guess the heart of this episode was trying to give weight to Bart and Lisa's relationship, but even they didn't really give a fuck.
no, not
thing.
particularly. Like,
The goal was Bart and Lisa's relation. There was Lisa and Roid Rage Millhouse. There was Bart and Jenda, and they both sort of choose each other over their respective spouses. That's sort of the moralistic
it's
heart.
there, but it's so poorly put together that no one, not the characters, we don't care. They didn't care. We didn't care. No one really gives a fuck.
Yeah. And it was all in the future with their childhood selves watching it. So realistically, no matter what ends up happening, their kids are watching it happen, so there's no way it can happen again.
And you made a mad point. Like, how much has Frank been watching The Simpsons live?
Seriously, man.
Well,
really weird.
That's the other grim as fuck joke. Is in the foreground when they go back to his lab
Yeah.
as kids. There's just a Frink skeleton hanging
Oh,
from the ceiling. And it's
man,
like,
what the fuck is with that?
so he just watched all the future. Wow, what does it say about when someone who can see the future kills themselves?
No.
What's coming?
It happens on screen in Frink's computer. Frink is watching this show of his dead corpse hanging from the thing. What the fuck is with that?
but-
He sees that happen and he accepts it happens, so he goes and does it.
Dude.
So,
Wow.
Yeah, he goes and does it
Or-
anyway. What the fuck?
Alternatively, he sees a future so grim he knows he can't be a part of it because maybe he causes it.
Whoa.
one
So he's
with
like-
a season 30 of The Simpsons.
Whoa.
Where we've forgotten all comedy and left it all behind.
Yeah.
And
rough,
it's just this rock hard drama.
So does it feel like an episode of The Simpsons?
It feels like a bad episode of The Simpsons.
Any other
times to ask, man.
any other quotable moments?
Oh god.
There are a couple of fun little lines.
So Nelson dies. Frink dies. Oh god.
Sherry and Terry have 4 kids between them.
Yep,
Todd Flanders has a massive cock and knows how to use it.
just all day and night.
Millhouse is a depressed, roid-raged freak.
Which I
Letting it-
feel, is that a weird continuity click to Barthood?
You know,
Remember when we watched the episode? Wasn't he buff in Barthood?
Yeah, there's a
yeah.
few more future episodes where they do a
Where
bunch
Millhouse
of
gets roidy.
and
Weird.
all.
Weird that they're sort of leading into that.
Well, yeah, I guess nerdy kid
Yeah, he
that's
got-
overcompensating in later
It makes
life.
a weird sort of sense that he discovers weights.
Yeah. And
But skips leg day.
Yeah.
and Lenny and Carl's ghost, another gag
Were
that I
they
couldn't
ghosts?
tell.
Were they ghosts?
That was kind of I did kind of like that. They're like,
Yeah. Well,
Like-
yeah, Milhouse gets stuck in between two trees, and Lenny and Carl walk by, and
They're like,
Milhouse-
maybe we're ghosts, and maybe we're just fucking with you, and then they walk off.
yeah,
It's a good thing to say to anyone.
So
really.
they're either ghosts or they're sarcastic, and
Like-
both answers are good.
Try it in life sometime.
Beach.
Not to me, I know-
I can't help you. Ow! He solved my
Who did you-
crisis.
Who are you punching, man?
I mean,
All right, let's rank the. Before we rank this thing, that's the other thing I wanted to do. Move this question before rank this thing. Do you recommend this?
No.
no.
Good. Rank it.
Failure. Even
Failure.
a high failure. I nearly participated, but I'm like, in talking about it, everything's so blah.
Mm.
And but not only blah, there are parts that I just want to just yell at, and
Fair
that
enough.
puts it in a failure.
Yeah. Where are you leaning, Shag?
I think. Dang.
I was participhalia for a long time, but again, in talking about it and in thinking about it, I just there
You
was
know,
some fun
Beach is
I-
actually winning me over. I'm sorry, Beach. I don't want you to be affecting
I'll
my
be
vote as a
filleting
judge.
I'll do the first vote next
Filleting
time.
me.
influence.
Oh, thank God.
You'll know if I'm filleting you.
Or inflating. Fire flash.
Oh god! Can
so-
we just edit everything out?
And we're back. This is episode 9 of The Simpsons.
Yeah, there we go.
What do you rank it, Shag?
Well, look, I was thinking participant. And then Beach was like, blah, 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 blah. And I was
Warren
like, he's
Flores.
right. I don't want to participate in
I
this
should go ahead
episode.
of you.
So that's a failure.
All right. Yep, that's fair enough.
It's a high failure. That's the best I can give it.
I was hoping you guys would help me out here because I actually don't know where. It is definitely in the participhalia range.
It's a tough call because I got some decent laughs out of it, but overall, the fact they had like the kind of narrative that could drive some heart that
If
just
you're
didn't.
hoping that we're helping you out and we both give it a failure, I think we are helping you out, man.
yeah.
Well, okay, I'll give
Okay, well, look, here's my mindset because I actually didn't mind the first half of this episode. If it came in with a stronger ending, hell, it might have even seen a bronze medal. But the ending and the conclusions for all stories
about
were
how it
so
is.
weak that it does bring it. Yeah, I'm failing it. Yeah.
I mean, I think we said that about the island episode where it would have even maybe have been up to a gold or something.
Yeah, if it had a
because
better
it was
ending.
just had a really, it just ended.
Yeah.
You know, and they had a lot of good jokes leading in, but yeah, it was just
And yeah, it was a bunch of stuff set up with no real payoff. So yeah, I feel
And
very comfortable
I think
failing
we've,
this.
yeah, I think we've said it before. There's 2 parts to any story: the ending and everything else.
Yep. All right, guys. That about does it for future drama. Now it's time for me to give you guys the post 20 episode, and tonight, for you two
yes.
literary majors, I have chosen The Book Job. Beej, you might know this episode that features the voice talents of Neil Gaiman.
Okay, I know this one.
I love this episode.
I love the very last line. It's already in my head.
Have you seen it, Shagger? Yeah, it's a good one. All right, we will be back after this thing that goes boo we do we do we do we do
Dick.
we do.
Hey listeners, just a quick note about the upcoming segment. Unfortunately, BT's microphone wasn't plugged in properly. You can actually hear the moment where I realise this and I plug it back in. But anyway, so for the first few minutes his voice is going to be really soft, but it doesn't last for very long and it goes back to normal very quickly. Alright, thank you for listening again and enjoy the show.
And we are back. We just watched the 6th episode of the 23rd season called The
Sliders.
Book Job. What did you guys think of The Book Job?
Well, why don't you summarize this one for us?
It's actually one that can be summarized simply. Homer gets wind of an idea to assemble a team together to publish a book and put a fake face on it so it makes it seem like it was written by a hard-on-her-luck kid or something. Anyway, and they write a book and they enlist the help of Neil Gaiman, and they try to do a heist movie, basically, with...
But with literature?
Yeah, and with double crossing and triple crossing and Neil Gaiman as well. Yeah. Being a totally indispensable member of the team.
He was gorgeous.
Yeah, even in
You can
Simpsons
tell by
world.
how ruffled his hair was in Simpsons World. That's the sign that he's the gorgeous character.
Yeah. I mean, his hair's always permanently ruffled in real life.
Oh, it's
As
true.
though someone has just tousled his hair gently, but lovingly.
Like he's constantly coming out of bed from having sex with Amanda Palmer.
And
Oh, it could be,
It
yeah.
was kinky. That woman doesn't have eyebrows for a reason.
They wear off from the friction.
Neil Gaiman's
Yes,
got
I
a
was
thing for
implying.
eyebrows. Oh, I just love to rub your eyebrows off. That was a terrible Neil Gaiman.
But it was one.
Oh,
like,
mate, you
terrible-
saved the day.
It was like the B grade great movie of impressions. You need to meet him now and just give it.
Hi, Neil Gaiman. I am Neil Gaiman.
I'll be thoroughly entertained. No one else on the planet. But it really isn't that why everything exists.
Yeah. Watching you slowly rub his eyebrows off.
And drawing in new ones. Yeah, I really liked this episode. So, yeah, taking it back to the start, they start out, they're doing like a walking with dinosaurs thing. What'd you guys think of that stuff came out of that?
Again, it was an ends to it was means to an end. We
It
just get
felt
to a
like
point.
a means to an end, didn't it? Had all the kids running out in terror after the giant dinosaur puppets did something dumb, and then it cuts back a second later, and like basically half the kids are still there watching, just because they had another gag they wanted to fit into the dinosaur bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was Bart realizing that, hey, the end of the world is inevitable from giant asteroids, so let's live it up and party.
Yeah, very Nietzsche. That was cool.
So then, Homer joins in and starts destroying
Is Bart the Ubermensch? There's a conversation.
Wow.
the Ubermensch.
Well, we'll talk philosophy after podcast.
You still need to give me that Simpsons and philosophy book you were telling me.
It's law. It doesn't matter what it is, it's law.
about.
So essentially, this would be someone who lives by their own moral code, but does not inflict that code upon anyone else, thereby living the truest form of themselves.
Easy beach, easy.
It's a very,
Anyway,
very
then they cut backstage, and there's like a bunch of dinosaurs smoking, and there's like,
Some quite fun jokes, yeah.
yeah, there's some cute ones there. There was the bit with someone drinking through the dinosaur's head, or doing shots, or no, I can't remember now. Something
I think
weird.
you were drinking and there were dinosaurs, and that's where you get confused. But,
There were some
Homer
cute little
sleeps
gags there.
in
We
a
could.
dinosaur's head.
No, he gets eaten by a dinosaur. I was watching.
You were not watching closely enough. He takes a nap and closes the mouth intentionally on him.
And it was a paleosaur. I don't know. Anyway, and Lisa spots what she thought was her favourite author, J.K. Rowling parody, who wrote the Angelica Button parody books.
Which I also like has been brought back. They've used that before. I liked it.
Oh, they did use the Angelica Button
Yeah,
sort of...
they've used Angelica, 'cause remember,
Oh,
Homer,
yeah.
This might be I don't think this is the first showing of it, but they have Homer reading
Yeah.
Angelica Button to him, and then there's another one where they're all lined outside for the last release, and she makes fun of comic book guy.
Yeah.
How do I know this?
Yeah, been a long time since I've seen those episodes, I guess. Well, yeah, that's nice that they brought it back, and yeah, they reveal that this J.K. Rowling parallel is, in fact, just a front for a big publishing company who hires pill-popping lit majors to write their books. Yeah, and so Lisa's angry at this, and she goes and tells Homer, and oh my god, this is what they've been doing. They've just been assembling teams of
Making
people.
millions of dollars and not thinking about the consequences. Millions of dollars, you say.
Yeah, and that sets off the heist, and Homer coming up to Bart and doing that whole back and forth. This isn't going to be like Kansas City. No, it's not going to be like Kansas.
What's the shindig?
Yeah, the first line of that scene between Bart and Homer is, "Whatever it is, I'm not into it."
Yeah, they get Skinner and they bring him back for one more job.
Yeah.
It's a good bit. It's very Ocean's 11, as you were saying.
Oh yeah, of
But
course.
it's still the heist movie. It's always there's never
The one last job. It's a classic.
Yeah.
And I do just like how the story unfolds with Lisa going, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna write a book on my own.
She's getting too old for this shit.
Yeah, she's nearly 9, man.
Yeah.
If you haven't made it by 9, you're not.
You may as well just give up on life.
You were waiting for it. You took so long.
But she starts doing. I'm gonna be a serious writer now, and then she just does the writer procrastination, and we've all been there. 2 more games of online
man.
Boggle, and I'm ready to write.
I'm ready to
Yeah.
I'm gonna make this castle out of 2B pencils.
YouTube video about a cat? This I gotta
My CD collection shouldn't be alphabetized by author. It should be autobiographied by year.
see. How have I let this go on for so long? Those drapes are dirty. I should vacuum them.
All right, I'm gonna go to Starbucks, and well, if I'm gonna use their Wi-Fi, I better borrow something, buy something. Okay, got my coffee. Now I'm a real
Wait, now
author.
I need to pee.
That's
Okay.
so-
I'll pack everything up and go, you know.
It's so good, and I love the material they mine for it, and yeah, all the while. But Homer's
3 unproductive creative sorts here, by the way. look at our collection of highly published material.
By the
Hey,
way,
we're
you
getting
can
there.
go to pulpfuryradio.com, which should in theory be at least semi-functional.
Well, I've been there. It's
Exists.
Hey,
It
we actually
exists.
did a thing. Go to Dave Plus One to see an actual thing all 3 of us participated in.
Yeah, visit Dave Plus One for a romantic comedy from the makers of this podcast. We're not good at advertising.
Like and subscribe on Twitter and YouTube, and you can comment on the Instagram.
You don't have to actually do have like buttons.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had to hit them all because I didn't realize they were there.
come on, hit the like button on this podcast. You know you want to.
don't, man. This is not our best episode.
Nah, we won't beat episode 5.
Well, not with that attitude.
What if I said something really funny right now?
What if?
What if? Why don't you try?
All right, so there's this family that go into a talent agency. So yeah, any other general comments you want to make about this episode?
I'll tell you later.
How many Pokemon did you catch?
Goddamn, what?
I want to find out more about this talent agency. I'm sorry.
We're not aristocrats.
That's for our new podcast.
The Aristocrats.
Yeah.
It's been done.
Oh, really? That's
Well, I mean,
on.
there's a movie about it. So.
I wonder if someone's done an Aristocrats podcast, though.
Yeah, but it's going to be the same thing. Just the one joke.
Have you seen the movie? You'd be surprised how, like, creative people get with that joke.
No, I haven't. I just know. How could more than an hour's worth of podcast, though? I'm assuming we're just going to edit this part out, so I'm comfortable just talking over it.
Maybe, maybe not.
That's been the theme of this entire one. It's just been, we'll edit it out later.
This is going to be the shortest episode we've filmed.
We know he cuts down now, so we're a little more comfortable being shit.
Edit this space out. You guys wouldn't know what happened. Just, that slight pause, that millisecond pause between what I was saying and what I am saying now.
You know what?
The
You know what?
mystery.
The great podcast savior is just go. Look, we're really sorry. Half this episode got lost on the hard drive, so you missed some amazing jokes. We're back. We had a special guest come in. Neil Gaiman was here, and we're back.
So yeah, let's talk about Neil Gaiman for a bit. Oh my goodness, that was such a good cameo that he was there for the
charming.
heist.
It was a bit stupid.
Yeah.
Like most cameos that turn up on The Simpsons are a bit stupid. I'm thinking of Mel Gibson right now, but all of them are a bit like that, even down to the critic. And this one, he was charming and funny and stupid, and then he got the best lines at the very end.
Yeah, that after all the heist and, the book publisher transformed their book that was originally about trolls into a cheesy novel about vampires, and everyone was like, ooh, we got to change that back, so they plan, the actual heist to swap the flash drives, but turns out Lisa had already gotten to them first and was like, no, they're going to put my face on it, so I'm betraying you. And then she switches the flash drives, and then it turns out that was another cross because Neil Gaiman had already switched them out. And so he's sitting on a beach with his millions of dollars, and then he goes, oh my god, I pulled this off, and the best part is, I don't even know how to read. Amazing.
It's one of those cameos where they're there for the whole thing, but they're not getting crazy praise throughout, like the Mel Gibson episode.
Yeah.
Or
They have already name dropped his most famous book, Preludes and Nocturnes, which is clearly
Man.
What was it?
someone who doesn't know how to read.
Sad Man, Volume 1, Preludes and Nocturnes.
Oh no, but
I'll
how
lend
does
it
it
to
come
you.
out?
It's amazing.
It's a good series. Yeah, I've got the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
I still need to read Good Omens.
yeah.
I'm gonna start.
Oh,
I'm gonna start my
Get
Terry
off
Pratchett.
my podcast right now.
Yeah, you just gave out your podcast.
No. I'm gonna start my reading of Gaiman and Pratchett by knocking out two birds with one stone.
Makes sense.
Do it. Like you're like 5 years overdue. You're like 20 years overdue. Get to it.
Well, I've read the foreword where they're because it's a reissue and they're talking about how famous this book is, and
So 4 words at the foreword.
Wow.
my
nice.
name is Neil.
Yeah, I bet you if Good Omens had a Tinder profile, you would have read it.
I wouldn't have learnt much about it though.
No, just fucked it and left. Well, we need, like, if we can't cricket sound, we need to find a tumbleweed or something.
And we're back.
Oh, who was Pocket Tumbleweed in?
No, it was me. But
That
I
was
don't,
you?
I don't have a puckle. I don't have. I have to go.
It doesn't really work on
Doesn't
audio.
make a sound, yeah.
No.
Just. Anyway, now that we figured out how to let people know we're being boring,
Yeah, good point. Beej, you've seen this one before. What do you think? Do you think back then? Did you like it?
honestly, not as much fun on the rewatch. I mean,
Oh.
I do love the Neil Gaiman bits still. I just the whole because this is a thing that happens. There are conglomerates of people who come together to write young adult novels, and you double parked there on Beverly. Yeah, that's it.
I'm gonna work on it.
So yeah, I think it was an interesting angle to take, and I think there's an interesting moral conflict as well. Is it really so wrong? You're still the end result is still something that kids fall in love with, and
Yeah.
so what if it wasn't made by one person? But at the same time, there is that sense of betrayal to it. So I like that as a real world narrative, and so it does happen.
It's a philosophical dilemma.
Yes. Well, I mean, as we hinted at several times, there is a deep-seated philosophical side to The Simpsons, which we will. Let's just delve into that next episode. Or now, I don't know. Yeah, no, like I said, it was not as much fun as I remember it being. Possibly because I had tacos then. This was another Taco Tuesday episode.
Sure.
And everything is more fun with tacos.
Hmm.
So. But
Well, Shag, yeah, what did you think about this time viewing? When you weren't playing Pokemon.
I have another
Feels
beer.
special, you know.
Huh?
Didn't really feel special, man. Like it had. I had fun with it. The whole Ocean's 11 shtick was really cute. I'm a big fan of Ocean's 11. I know it's just George Clooney and Brad Pitt being like, "Look how sexy we are,"
Yeah.
with a great
But
script
How sexy
to
are they?
support us. But wow, yeah,
And
man.
their butts.
Yeah, butts for days.
That George Clooney's though.
Yatsu who played nuts. Damn, I got that wrong.
Watch BoJack Shag. Anyway, sorry, we're cutting you off. It was fun, but
Yeah, it wasn't amazing. It felt like a Simpsons episode. I'm cutting ahead to where you asked me the question where you like, did it feel like?
yeah, sure, we'll go.
It sort of did, but at the same time, it felt like a Simpsons episode when they'd run out of when it's starting to draw thin. You know, they're starting to run out of that real Simpsons-y flavor, so they water it down with milk and molasses, and you're just like, yeah, it's sort of Simpsons-y, but weaker than I remembered them.
Man, yeah, that's pretty harsh though, because I think this is a classic Simpsons doing another property sort of thing, like the Cape Fear episode when they're doing Cape Fear.
Yeah.
This is them doing a heist movie, and I thought it worked well. Like jokes did fall flat at times, but that's just a post-20s thing, not so much a problem with the storytelling. I thought the storytelling was great.
Yeah, look, the storytelling, the scripting, the pacing was alright. They've done better heist movies already. Cat Burglar, way better, same basic sort of idea.
Homer the Bootlegger.
Yeah, Bootlegger, great stuff. And it's not about whether, it's not just because it's an older episode. It just feels like they're trying to milk the same ideas, you know? It's not doing anything that stands out as special or interesting compared to anything else. I'm rambling, aren't I? You're looking at me like, damn, he's
No,
rambling.
I'm
When
just
can I
I'm
cut him
trying to
off?
find so many ways to object with you
This is
because
a ramblematic
I'm
episode.
sorry, man.
yeah, because I mean I get where you're coming. Maybe I'm just being a bit more forgiving of the
All right,
Simpsons.
hit me with some positives then. You know, say, damn, man, you know what I really like? Blank, blank, and blank.
Well, I think we're all coming from a point where this was a breath of fresh air from modern Simpsons, and this is we'd had so many ones you're like. Bleh.
So you're feeling like,
Whereas
this
this one
is
was
bad,
like,
but there's worse.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, well, this is bad, but there is better.
you know, this is it's from different perspectives. This is where you've been swimming through a river of shit and found a diamond. And he's like, man, that's not a diamond, that's a hungry corn.
And I'm like, it tastes like a diamond.
That should taste like corn, but okay.
After it's
Why
been
are
in
you
a river
eating
of
it?
shit.
Why are you eating it?
I ran it
Oh.
under a cold tap.
Oh, Beach, your metaphors, man.
Yeah.
This should not be aired.
No. I keep forgetting this is getting aired.
I know.
Oh,
And then I'm not just speaking into two mirrors.
His
Nugget
metaphors
of
are the
corn.
most popular part with our listener.
Oh.
What with me? I didn't really like episode 5's It's Not a Dumpster Full of Flaming Syringes. That was great.
Yeah.
Good going, previous me.
Yeah. Yeah, look, the positives of it all. I like Lisa trying to be the single artist, trying to play the same game, and her just relenting and being part of the heist.
What's the word for putting things off? Her putting things off. Procrastination was really funny and really rang true with what I'm sure the scriptwriters at the time were going through. Yeah, for real.
But even what you were saying, this is what you come out with when you've run out of ideas. I saw a really good Cyanide and Happiness cartoon, which was a bottle of shampoo and soap talking to each other, and it's like, hey, Mr. Shampoo, the faucet's talking shit again. He was saying that writers only get their best ideas in the shower.
Wow.
And so, yeah, from that angle, I get it. Yeah, that's okay, what you come up with when you're running out of ideas. You just watched Ocean's 13, you're
Like,
a
why aren't we
procrastinating
doing
writer
this?
yourself.
Yeah.
And so it all
Not
comes
even
together.
the best episode of Oceans.
That's going to sound so weird on the track, man.
Good thing I'll delete it.
And we're back.
You just missed Julia Roberts, who dropped in unexpectedly.
She was...
Hi, I'm Julia Roberts.
I'm so terrified right now.
I know, she has that effect on a lot of people.
Never do that again. You don't deserve your Oscar.
Oh, if that lady can pull off any movie and not sound like that, she deserves an Oscar.
So what, every movie?
Yes.
And we're back.
Yes.
Do you see yourself watching this episode again?
God, you mean this episode of Us? No.
I know. I like. To be fair to this episode, we have created a half hour of worse entertainment. So, props to them. This is difficult.
Oh, another bit. They do these flash up title cards in black and white. The heist, and the fix, the sting,
The setup.
and they do cut to one of the acts with the commercials.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, doesn't work when we're watching it on a perfectly legal MP4.
But you knew commercials were going there, and it would have cut to present day commercials for advertisements and goods and services.
Sorry, Elliot. By MP4, did you mean money paid for this episode?
Yeah,
MP4.
of which I was able to give Fox money and watch this episode
absolutely.
legally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is what we did.
Behold the field in which I grow my fox.
Note that it bear held. Ah,
Note that it is barren.
thank you. Fuck.
Wow. So you don't see yourself watching it again? Do you see yourself watching it
I
again?
would, but that's because I already like it.
Yeah. Game is good.
Just for the last line.
Yeah.
It was a great last
I don't
line.
even know how
But
to read.
if I've got half an hour to spend, I think I've got better episodes I could spend it on.
Like play several games of online Boggle.
It's true, or reorganize my CD card.
Oh yeah, that needs to be done.
Yeah.
Autobiographical. It's the only way to fly.
High Fidelity had it right, man.
Oh, no. I absolutely see myself watching this episode again. Well, I mean, between this and a handful of others, there is an excuse to keep watching after the 20th season.
Is that like a Clint Eastwood thing?
Handful
What is?
of them. Well, you see, Elliot, Handful of Dollars is a famous Clint Eastwood Western, and you said A Handful of Others, so it sounded like the same thing. Reference
So
also
the episode
the
that's
community...
called Fistful of Quarters.
Fistful of quarters, yeah.
or
Fistful of
Fistful of Paintballs.
Fistful of paintballs.
Ah.
Yeah, it comes up.
There you go.
You learn something new every day. You just listen to podcasts and don't put pants on.
Man, I haven't seen any Clint Eastwood movies. I haven't even seen his recent ones.
You mean Guantanamo Torino?
Gran Torino, which
Didn't
is...
see that.
Guantanamo Bay. I'm pretty
see
sure
Million
it's-
Dollar Baby if you want to hurt inside.
Do you want to hurt inside Elliot? Because I don't think you do.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Nine Inch Nails, no.
Bam! Retrieve the music.
Take that, pre-emo assholes. No, I'm just kidding. Trent Reznor's a marvelous producer, but a shitty songwriter. So
there you go.
how was the wackiness? Pretty wacky. Them setting up a book.
But again, structured in a very real thing.
It
So
was
that's-
pretty grounded. I mean, it's unlikely that in such a brief period of time, six people, unrelated and people with no connections, could write a bestseller and have it marketed and published and blah 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 blah. But in terms of Simpsons wacky, that's just like day in the life stuff, you know.
That's nothing. That's Homer gets a new job and loses it in less
For
time.
real.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he's turned up in desert islands and licked toads in the same amount of time.
yeah.
Sure.
And then just gotten back.
And even like
Yeah.
even Gaiman and Moe's at the end when they escape everyone and make off with the funds, they're only at Shelbyville Beach.
I like that as a quick joke.
Yeah.
Escape to Shelbyville.
So the heart. I don't think there was heart.
There's, I wouldn't call it heart, but there's an idealism in Lisa having a problem with the writing being done by a corporation rather than an individual, and but being sold as an individual.
Yeah.
There's that. So it's an idealist thing, I suppose. But I wouldn't call it a heart.
She's sort of the naive one of the group, but then the rest of the group is what wins. You know, they're the ones that do release the bestseller and make the millions of dollars. And they're sort
But
of
they
saying,
end
hey,
up getting heart over the book that they wrote
they
just
get
for a cash in.
Pride of authorship, where they're like, we'll just make some money, and then once it gets taken from them, they're like, actually, we've fallen in love with what we made. So I think I wouldn't call it hard exactly, but there's a degree of sentimentality, and there's there's emotions in there.
Ew,
Ew.
emotion.
Not just emotions, emotions.
Yes, I've heard about them on the televisual media.
Hey, Neil Gaiman and Neil Gaiman. Who let you two in here?
It was the doorman, but I can't see his name because I don't even know how to read.
I love that line so much.
I just tip anything that moves.
And say, hello, I'm Neil Gaiman. That's how I got to write episodes of Doctor Who, one of which is bullshit.
He wrote Doctor Who's?
Yeah, a couple of them.
Oh, wow.
One which is good, one which is crap.
So there, Neil. I know you're listening.
Oh yeah, no, he scours the internet for any mention of his name, I'm sure.
He watches all the Simpsons.
We mentioned his wife as well. We're all over his radar right
Mrs.
now.
Gaiman.
Palmer.
Not so gay now. Wait, what?
Oh my goodness, I have never heard that one before.
I know, right? Gay man and Palmer.
That-
There's a joke there.
Amanda. Oh my god.
Everything is awful.
And we're back. Did this feel like an episode of The Simpsons?
I feel like we're gonna watch this again later and pretend that it was the first time we watched
Yeah,
it.
I feel like that's where we're going. It did. It felt like The Simpsons doing a thing. It wasn't classic era, but it had enough of the pieces of Simpsons-ness to feel Simpsons. So yes, is your answer to that one?
Yeah, they do things. They do the homage / parody, and they walk the line, and that's the thing that the Simpsons do, and I feel that. I mean, you could look at earlier on where they did Pulp Fiction. You could look at earlier on where they did The Old Man in the Sea with the catfish. It's always been about the homage, borderline of original story, and I think this really tread that in a way that felt like classic Simpsons.
Yep. Way to articulate.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming either.
No, you made all the points that I would have made if I could articulate. So I just move on to the next question. Any other quotable moments that you liked?
I'll let you feel this one, Pete.
There's, I bleed red. I mean, it's great at first,
Yeah, I like that
which
one.
is nice, but I'm not going to quote that to anyone.
I like where they're coming up with they're spitballing the ideas for the book, and Homer goes, oh, vampires, and then Patty's
really?
like these ones, and they cut to all the different vampire subgenres: teen vampires, tween vampires,
Vampire babysitters.
Yep.
Vampire babysitters.
vampire.
Pretty sure I
Southern
read that when I
vampire
was a kid. No, I didn't.
No, you just got the Babysitters Club mixed up with.
Oh, I didn't read that
Interview
either.
Vampire.
I just know that girls did.
Ooh, speaking of which, there is another podcast, Australian podcast, coming out called the
Babysitters Club.
Babysitters Club Book Club, and they review books of the Babysitters Club.
Man, I'm not going to listen to any of that. But you guys should. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do we know these people?
Oh my god, I'm spacing on her name, but I follow her on Twitter.
Klingler.
At Brocklesnitch. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting your
Brocklesnitch.
name.
You know
I
what?
really like your Twitter
What?
feed.
You know
Wait,
what?
wait, say it again. Say it again.
At
Shag?
Brocklesnitch.
Say it 5 times faster.
At Brocklesnitch. At Brocklesnitch. At Brocklesnitch. Oh, faster. At
Yeah.
Brocklesnitch.
Okay,
That's pretty good.
You and I will shut up. You say, "Oh well, it's done by," and then leave space for you to edit in later.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be so perfect. It's done by... Beck Shaw.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay, you can cut out all of the other bits around
Yeah,
that.
you have such a job editing this time,
Yep.
Dick.
Do you recommend this one? Beach.
Depending on who I'm talking to like an old Simpsons fan who has left the series, I don't think it's enough to win them back. But if they're like, if they have a point on the whole corporations writing teen lit thing, or if they're a Neil Gaiman fan, then yeah, I will. Certain people, I'll say you have to check this out too,
Sure.
but not to everyone.
You mean... I love Neil Gaiman, but I hate The Simpsons. You could be like, hey man, guess what? Those worlds collide. Check
Well-
this out.
Well,
And
first
they'd
of
be-
all, my voice is much higher pitched than that.
Okay. So they'd be like, hey man, I love Ocean's 11, but I hate Neil Gaiman.
that
And
was
you'd
bad.
be like, hey man, check out The Simpsons. That's silly. This is really silly.
Well, despite the fact that I sound exactly like that, I would not say those words. No.
Yeah, fair enough. It feels slightly whimsical and doesn't really... No, it doesn't catch the momentum of the episode. I don't know that this is an episode that really catches the flavor of The Simpsons. You wouldn't look at someone and say, hey man, you want to find out what The Simpsons is like? You should watch this. Because that's wrong, you know? It's misleading. If this was the first episode you saw, you would have a wrong idea of what The Simpsons was like
Unless
or
someone
about.
says, I love Neil Gaiman and Ocean's 11, but I've watched literally none of The Simpsons ever. What should I do? Then
Yeah.
that person,
Have I got the breakaway episode
oh,
for
I've got the
you?
episode. Oh my gosh. But in that incredibly unlikely Venn diagram,
Man, even in that Venn diagram, I would be like starting them early on with like Scorpio or something,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
something reasonable. Not that this is a really bad episode. I quite enjoyed it. I giggled, I chuckled, I chortled. I snickered, maybe.
whoa.
Yeah. It was quiet though. Mike might not have caught it up.
Now the crinkling of chocolate packets often comes up. Snickers.
And we're back.
And we're back. Which guest
Wow,
did they
too
miss
bad
this
we
is?
lost all that audio to bad recording, because those jokes you just said really
They were
satisfied.
so good. Jerry Seinfeld walked in and was like jealous of all what the stuff I was wearing.
He is often talking about how he wishes he was as creative.
And we're
as us.
back again.
Let's kick off the rankings, guys. My ranking is a solid silver. I would have given it a gold, but it's just a simple fact that enough of the jokes fell flat enough that it wasn't good enough to be a gold for me. But still loved the way the story unfolded. I loved Lisa's thing. I loved Homer and Bart and assembling the team, and I like how they didn't overuse the B characters of Frank and Mo in this one, and how they were used to the right amount and not overexploited as they so often do with the B characters in later episodes. Anyway, for me, this is a solid silver. Shag, where are you leaning?
I think I'm feeling bronze more than silver. Like, I didn't mind the episode. I quite enjoy. I think I'm gonna like it more the second time around. I can sort of sit back and know what's coming and just enjoy the Ocean's 11 romp they go on, which was fun. I was enjoying it the whole time, but at the same time, I feel like there's, I don't know, it didn't leave me really satisfied. It left me feeling like, this was cool, but it wasn't as good as a good Simpsons episode. And that's a big hint for me, I'm not sitting here thinking, damn, this was top shelf, holy cow, oh snap, everybody, put this behind a glass cage and worship it 3 times when the sun rises in the morning. But that doesn't mean it was a bad episode. It just didn't really light my fire. It didn't catch I don't know, man. Silver feels optimistic to me. It feels like the sort of thing maybe I'll develop after I watch it 5 times and earn this subtle relationship, where the episode looks at you out of the corner of its eyes and you kind of catch its eyes a little bit, and there's this little knowing wink, and
Bird Suddenly Appears starts playing in the background.
Yeah,
Or American Woman.
And there's like a montage of you and the episode
hand in hand down the beach.
Yeah. And the eyes catch, and then like you're by the bubbler and you're getting water over yourself, and
you bump heads.
You look silly, and the episode looks at you, and you look at the episode, and
then you ride ponies together.
I can't see me loving nobody but you. Anyway. Okay, that's a
so I'm giving
fair
it
enough.
bronze. I didn't hate it, but it hasn't got enough to really win me over just yet. Maybe time will change my opinion, but hey, this isn't time. This is now.
And now is the time for Beach's opinion.
Woo!
Well, I don't want to let your opinion cloud mine, and I won't.
Nice. Nice.
Honestly, I'm sitting at Brilva again, but I'm going to slip down to the bronze, to be perfectly honest. It's tough. Again, it's not that it's like... bronze is not a bad score. It's still enjoyable. I still have fun watching it. It's just maybe not quite as tight or quite as punchy as and funny as it could be, and that's really where I lose something on it. I think I was much like you in the sense that we'd gone through a lot of bad Simpsons episodes, and this was one that was a breath of fresh air to come through, and that. But in the second watching, I'm like, this was not as good as I remember it being. So, I mean, I still love the Neil Gaiman bit and how they don't kiss his ass the whole way through. They let him be kind of a whipping boy, basically.
No, basically his part in the team is to make food for everybody, and there's several allusions to that, and where he's trying to get credit to that. Where he's
there'll be a montage.
I laminated the lunch menus and put them in a folder.
Yeah, or they'll have a montage of everyone doing badass break-in stuff, and he's like pouring drinks.
Yeah. Hey, this tuna didn't salad itself.
Yeah, you think of something like where they have this shitty Lady Gaga episode, and they spend just the whole episode worshipping her. It's like, this is boring and stupid. So well done.
Mel Gibson episode as well. Yeah. I mean, I'm
going
way back.
At least that's packed full of jokes.
Yeah, packed full of jokes.
It is very.
Also, it's just kissing up to him, isn't it?
It does. It sucks Mel Gibson's cock.
But to be fair, they also have a couple of jokes that kind of make fun of him. So like, wait, this is Mel Gibson? This is just a dummy. I know, but he sells tickets.
Hey.
Let's go.
Way to cite precedent. All right. I think that does it about for episode 9 tonight. Guys, thank you for coming around and joining me.
You had beer.
Yeah, we did. And after this case...
There's only one case left.
We better go get another case.
Case
So once again, introduce it. Oh, I was thinking about this earlier when I was editing. So if you're introducing yourself at the end of an episode, is it like extraducing yourself?
And we're back.
And we're back.
Jerk. I've been your host, Elliot J. O'Neill. That guy is...
Still me.
And that one is...
I'm the dumbest member of the team.
That would make me the smartest, and I'm never tapping out.
We're so bad at this.
Oh, shit, man. So, best episode ever.
Thank you for checking out the Simpsons Index podcast. Don't forget to go to www.thesimpsonsindex.com for the spreadsheet and information about upcoming episodes. I can't see me loving nobody but you.
Nobody but you. Doesn't really matter.
But it doesn't really matter.
I'm spinning the nip.
Doesn't really
But it doesn't
matter.
really matter.
Hey man, check out this